Hello everyone. In this lecture, I am going to solve 2010 Regional Mathematics Olympiad problems, and here is a view of this first problem. And it is a nice geometry problem, and in this problem we are given a convex hexagon ABCDEF in which the diagonals AD, BE and CF are concurrent at the point O. Suppose the area of the triangle OAF is the geometric mean of those of OAB and OEF, and the area of triangle OBC is the geometric mean of those of OAB and OCD, and we have to prove that the area of the triangle OED is the geometric mean of those of OCD and OEF. Okay, fine. Now I want to plot the diagram. We have given a convex hexagon, and you are familiar about the convex figures. When all interior angle of any polygon is less than 180 degree, then that polygon is known as convex. And this hexagon is not given to us as regular, so we can draw any random hexagon over here, something like that. Second side, this about the third side, fourth, fifth, and this one is the sixth. Okay, vertex A, B, C, D, E and F, and we are given that the diagonals AD, B and CF are concurrent. Diagonal AD, this is the diagonal AD, this is the diagonal BD, and this one is the diagonal CF. Okay, and this point of concurrency is O. This point of concurrency is O. Since the polygon is not regular, so the length OA, OB, OC may be different. So we can suppose the length OA is small a, length OB is small b, length OC is small c, small d, small e, and small f. This one is small f. Okay. We have to since we have to work on the area of triangles, so we can assume angle AOB is alpha, angle BOC is beta, and angle COD is gamma. And three angles are more than sufficient, because if angle AOB is alpha, then obviously vertically opposite angles are equal. This angle is also alpha, this angle is beta, and this remaining angle is gamma. Okay, now in this problem we have given two hints. The first one is area of triangle OAF. This one is the geometric mean of those of this, and this is the first information. Area of triangle OAF whole square, and we know that if ABC are in AP, then we usually write in algebra V square equals to AC. So I am going to use this result. Area of triangle OAF whole square equals to what? Area of triangle OAB into area of triangle OEF. This is the first information, and usually we use a square bracket to represent the area of any polygon. This is a standard notation, and we write this as the first clue. And second, we have to given the area of triangle OBC is the geometric mean of OAB and OCD. So second clue is what? Area of triangle OBC. This is the second information, equals to what? This is the product of area of triangle OAB into area of triangle OCD. This is the second information. And we also familiar about the area of triangle when two sides and included angle is given. Suppose this is a triangle ABC, and side opposite to angle B is B, and side opposite to angle C is C, and this is angle A. Then area of triangle is what? Then area of this triangle is half BC sine A, and this formula is useful when two sides and included angle is given. then area half BC sine A, and I am going to use this formula to find the area of triangle. Now with the help of this formula we can write equation 1 as area of triangle OAF. Side OA is A and side OF is F. 1 implies AF half AF times sine gamma, half AF times sine gamma whole square. This is equals to what? Area of triangle OAB. This is equals to half AB sine alpha into area of triangle OEF half EF times sine beta. Opposite angle is beta. Okay, now half and half cancel out from LHS and RHS, and look at the left hand side. We have AF whole square, so we can also cancel out A and F from left and right hand side. And then the surviving terms on the left hand side are what? AF sine square gamma. And what about the right hand side? We can write the surviving terms as BE times sine alpha into sine beta. Okay, we call this result as capital A. Now I am going to use the second information. Look at the second information. Area of triangle OBC whole square. The area of triangle OBC is what? Half BC times sine beta. This whole square equal to area of triangle OAB. OAB is clearly half AB sine alpha, and area of triangle OCD. OCD is what? Half CD half CD sine gamma. Again, half and half cancel out from LHS and RHS, and we can also cancel B and C from LHS and RHS. Then the surviving terms from LHS are what? BC sine square beta, and from RHS we can write AD sine alpha times sine gamma. This is the second information, so we call it as equation B. Now we have two informations, capital A and capital B, and what we have to prove? We have to prove that the area of triangle OAD, this one is the geometric mean of OCD and OEF. OED, this triangle, this is the geometric mean of two neighboring triangles. Right neighbor is OCD and the left neighbor is OEF. Okay, now to prove, what we have to prove? OED whole square. Now to prove area of triangle OED whole square equals to area of triangle OCD into area of triangle OEF. This one we have to prove, not a big issue. We can write this result in simplest form. After cancelling some terms, we can write it as ED sine square alpha, ED sine square alpha equals to C into F, CF, and for triangle OCD angle is gamma, and for triangle OEF angle is beta. We have to prove this result. Okay, and we call it star. Prove that, or to prove that. Now we have two information, capital and capital B, and we have to prove the result which I have written in equation star. Now what we can do to prove star? I am going to multiply equation A and B. Okay, let us move to the next slide. Move to the next slide. multiplying capital A and capital B. Okay, what we can write from the previous slide, when we multiply AF into BC, AF into BC, okay, we can write AF into BC into sine square beta into sine square gamma from LHS, and from RHS what we can write, from RHS we can write BE sine alpha sine beta, B into AD, B into AD, okay, we can write BE into AD into sine square alpha into sine beta into sine gamma. We can cancel out sine beta sine gamma from LHS and RHS, and also we can cancel out uh, B as well as EAD, B as well as A. Uh, so what we can write from here, we can write CF sine beta sine gamma is equals to what, B and A we have cancelled out, okay, equals to ED times sine square alpha, and I think this equation is same as star. You can check it out in the previous slide. You have to, you can see you have to prove that ED sine square alpha is CF times sine beta sine gamma, which is same as star, which is same as equation star. Hence we are done. Okay, now move to the next problem. This is a nice algebra problem, and in this problem we have given three quadratic polynomials. P1x is defined as ax square minus bx minus c, second polynomial P2x is bx square minus cx minus a, and the third polynomial P3x is cx square minus ax minus b, where a, b, c are non-zero real numbers, and we are given that there exists a real number alpha such that p1 alpha equals to p2 alpha equals to p3 alpha. That is, these three polynomials takes the same value at a real number alpha. Then we have to show that all three constant a, b, c are all equal. Okay, not a big deal. Uh, we have given that p1 alpha equals to p2 alpha equals to p3 alpha. So I am going to start the problem from this condition. We can suppose p1 alpha. P1 alpha is what? P1 alpha is a alpha square minus b alpha minus c. Okay, and p2 alpha is what? B alpha square minus c alpha minus a. And what about p3 alpha? P3 alpha is c alpha square minus a alpha minus b, and we are given that all three values are equal, and suppose their value is k, their value is k, and we have to prove that a equals to b equals to c. We have to develop a relation among the coefficient a, b and c. So so we have to eliminate the role of alpha from this system. Suppose this equation is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Now in order to eliminate the role of alpha square, in order to eliminate alpha square from the system, what we can do, we can multiply, look at the coefficient of alpha square. Here is a, b, and in third equation c. So ab multiply first equation by b minus c, and second equation by c minus a, and third equation by a minus b, and add, then clearly the coefficient of alpha square are in cyclic pattern. We can write the coefficient of alpha square as a times b minus c plus b times c minus a plus c times a minus b. This becomes the coefficient of alpha square, and you can clearly see that due to the cyclic pattern all terms are cancelled out. So in the next line the coefficient of alpha square becomes 0. And what happens to the coefficient of alpha? Look at these places. Here everywhere there is a negative sign, so I want to take the negative sign common. What we get, b times b minus c plus c times c minus a plus a times a minus b times alpha. And what happens to the constant term, c times b minus c plus a times c minus a plus b times a minus b is equals to 0. Okay, the coefficient of alpha square already becomes 0, so what we can write, b square plus c square plus a square minus ab minus bc minus ca. Okay, and here is negative sign, here also negative sign, but right hand side is 0. So if we multiply by -1, then we can clearly write this equation as a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus ca times alpha minus, keep in place, we have to convert this as plus sign, and this becomes what, bc ca ab. This becomes bc plus ca plus ab minus a square minus b square minus c square equals to 0. So if we take this expression common, then we can write a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus ca is taken out common, and the second component is what, alpha minus 1, and the product of these two terms becomes 0. Then we have to discuss two cases separately, when the first component is 0 and when the second component is 0. So it is better to move to the next slide. One by one we discuss both cases separately. If a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus ca equals to 0, and this is very basic and very important algebra expression, and very important for Olympiad as well as your JEE exam. You can write this expression in the form of sum of perfect square. If you multiply this expression by 2, then clearly this result can be converted in this form: a minus b square, b minus c square, c minus a square. All of you should be familiar about this result, and we know that if sum of a square equals to 0, then each bracketed quantity must be individually 0. So we can write a equals to b equals to c. So we have reached to the required result with the help of the first component. Now I'm going to talk about the second component. If second component becomes 0, this implies alpha equals to 1, and if alpha equals to 1, and then what we can write, look at the last slide. uh, Look at this system. If alpha equals to 1, so I want to put alpha equals to 1 in this system. What we get, we can write here a minus b minus c, b minus c minus a, c minus a minus b, all numbers becomes equal. If alpha equals to 1, then we can write, what we can write, a minus b minus c equals to b minus c minus a equals c minus a minus b, and this will again implies a equals to b equals to c. So in both cases we have proved the result a equals to b equals to c. Hence we are done. Okay, now move to the next problem. And this is a nice combinatorics problem, not very difficult, not very easy, mediocre level. And in this problem we have to find out the 4-digit numbers in base 10s having non-zero digits and which are divisible by 4 but not by 8. Okay, we have to form 4-digit numbers which are divisible by 4 but not by 8, and we are already familiar by the divisibility standard of 4 and 8. We know that a number is divisible by 4 if a number formed by last 2 digits is divisible by 4, and a number is divisible by 8 if a number formed by last 3 digits is divisible by 8. So we have to work on last 2 digits and last 3 digits. Okay, and I am going to use blank box concept. So make 4 blank boxes, and we have to find out 4-digit number based on having non-zero digits. Zero digit is not allowed. So if we want to find those number which are divisible by 4, then clearly these two boxes, at these two boxes we have to use those digits which are divisible by 4. So possible cases for last two boxes. First, I am only focusing on 4. That is, I want to develop a 4-digit number which is divisible by 4. Okay, I am only focusing on those 4-digit numbers which are divisible by 4. So we have to focus on last 2 digits, and last 2 digits are what? 12, 16, 20 is not allowed because we have given that all digits are non-zero. 12, 16, and thereafter 24, 28, 32, 36, 40 is not allowed. 44, 48, 52, 56, 60 is not allowed. 64, 68, 72, 76, 80 is not allowed. 84, 88, 92, and 96. Okay, these are the patterns, and overall 1 2 3 4 5 6 6 3 is the 18. There are 18 possibilities for last 2 digits. There are 18 possibilities, and out of these 18 possibilities there are some numbers which are already divisible by 8. And look at 16, 24, 32, 48, 56, 64, 72, 88, and last 96. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, there are 9 numbers. There are overall 18 numbers in this set, and out of which 9 numbers are divisible by 8, and the remaining 9, you can check the remaining 9 number, and each remaining number gives a remainder 4 on dividing by 8. So if we classified these 18 numbers in two classes, then these classes must be of the form 8k and 8k plus 4, and each class contains 9 numbers. So we have overall 18 numbers. 9 numbers are those which are of the form 8k, and 9 numbers are of the form 8k plus 4. Okay, so first I want to make a 4-digit numbers, 4-digit numbers of type 4-digit numbers when last two digits are filled by numbers of the form 8k. Case first, when last two digits are filled by any number of the form 8k. Okay, so there are since there are 9 numbers, so we can fill these two boxes together in 9 different ways. And suppose we have filled with last two boxes with 16. We pick the first number here. Suppose we fill last two boxes with 16. Okay, then clearly number is divisible by 4, but we have to pay attention on this number also. We want to design a number which is divisible by 4 but not by 8. So there is a restriction on third box also. This is restricted box. Okay, now there are 9 possibility for the restricted box, and the numbers are 116, 216. If the third most digit is 1, then number is 116, 216, 316, 416, and up to so on 916. Now you have to pick those numbers such that the 3-digit numbers are not divisible by 8. I think 116 is not divisible by 8. 116, and those numbers are 116, 316, 516, and 916. Overall there are 9 possibilities, and out of these 9 only 5 possibilities are such that the numbers 4-digit number is not divisible by 8. So this box can be filled in 5 different ways. Okay, and the leftmost digit we filled in 9 different ways. Therefore, total number corresponding to this case is 9 into 5. 1000 place can be filled in 9 different ways. 100 place filled in 5 different ways, and last 2 digits together can be filled in 9 different ways. So this is the answer of the first case, when last 2 digits are filled by any number of the form 8k. Now I am going to make the second case, when last 2 digits are filled by any number of the form 8k plus 4. Okay, I'll move to the next slide. Case second, when last 2 digits are filled by any number of the form 8k plus 4. Okay, let us draw 4 blank boxes. Since we have 9 numbers of this class, so in this case last 2 boxes together can be filled in 9 different ways. And suppose we have filled last 2 digits by first number of this class, that is 12. And clearly we want to make a number which is not divisible by 8. So 100 place is a restricted box, and there are 9 choices. We can write these 9 numbers formed by last 3 digits. The number of 112, 212, 312, 412, up to 912. And out of these 9 numbers you have to select those numbers which are not divisible by 8, then clearly, because 112 is divisible by 8, you can check it. 112 is divisible by 8, and the number which are not divisible by 8 are 212, 412, 612, and up to 812. So in this set there is only 4 numbers which are not divisible by 8. So you can fill the 100 place by 3 distinct ways. Either you can fill with 3, or 4, or 6, or 8. It means this box can be filled in 4 different ways, and there is no restriction on the 1000 place, so you can fill with any non-zero digit here. So you can fill it in 9 different ways. Therefore, total number corresponding to this case, 9000 place can be filled in 9 ways, 100 place can be filled in 4 different ways, and last 2 digits can be filled in 9 different ways together. Okay, therefore total number of 4-digit numbers. total number of 4-digit required numbers. Required numbers in what? In which the restriction follows. So we have make two cases. The answer of the first case is 9 into 5 into 9, and the answer of the second case is 9 into 4 into 9, and I am going to take common 9 into 9 from these two results. So in bracket what we have, 4 plus 5. 4 plus 5 again becomes 9, so it becomes 9 whole cube. That is 3 raised to the power 6, and everybody knows what is the value of 3 raised to the power 6. That comes out to be 729. Hence we are done, and thanks for watching.